White House reporter for Axios, and Nial Stanage is the White House columnist for The Hill. Great to have both of you with us. Marc, I want to start with you. I was watching the Prime Minister from India as he stood next to Trump a few moments ago, and Trump vowed, we are going to match the tariff. If he continued to charge us 17%, we're going to charge him 17%. I think he might have blanched.
Oh, well, you're talking about Trump blanching or Modi blanching? I don't think Trump does much in the way of blanching these days.
Modi.
Yeah, Trump is in his element. He has made foreign policy and big, bold foreign policy a cornerstone of his administration. And in these opening weeks, he's notched a number of wins from hostages or U.S. citizens held overseas, whether be they in Venezuela or in Russia, coming back to the United States, to getting the Panama Canal more under U.S. influence by getting Panama to sort of scuttle its future deal with China over the Belt and Road Initiative. So this is where Donald Trump is, and this is where he is going to make his mark. Now, the real question we have going forward is, what's that going to look like in Ukraine and Russia? That's a big unknown.
Yeah, a big unknown. We'll know a lot more tomorrow, probably, when the Munich conference begins. But sticking with the tariffs for a second, Nial, economist from Capital Economics, said a short time ago that these new tariffs, if they come on April 2nd, could mean a rise of 2% on consumer prices, meaning inflation would at least temporarily go back up to 4% later this year.
Yeah, absolutely, Elizabeth. And that, of course, is the major danger for President Trump. He was, after all, elected in significant part to try to get prices down. And, you know, you made the point in your introduction that the sloganeering element of tariffs is very easy to understand. People look at those Indian tariffs of 17% versus the US with 3%, and they think, what's that about? That doesn't seem fair. So that drive is understandable enough. But if an increase in tariffs in other territories as well causes an inflationary cycle, I think there are massive political perils for the president in that.
Yeah, to that end, Marc, the Wall Street Journal, a conservative newspaper, the editorial board asks today, does Donald Trump understand money? The answer would appear to be no, after Trump called for lower interest rates. On the same day, the Labor Department reported an increase in inflation. It goes on to say Trump was elected as voters reacted to inflation under Biden. If this persists, Trump won't have a 53% job approval rating for long.
Well, that's probably true regarding the effect of inflation on his poll numbers. However, the laissez-faire politics of the Wall Street Journal, the editorial board, their view of more globalist markets is largely at odds with Donald Trump's protectionist, quote-unquote, America First policy. This is sort of more of the same. Earlier, a few weeks ago, when the editorial board of the Wall Street Journal was criticizing his tariff plan, the Trump White House just went all out, calling them globalists, wrong, anti-American worker. You're going to see more of this from Trump if anyone, whether be they on the right or the left, attacks his policies and plans, especially regarding tariffs.
Yeah. Niall, you know who else is meeting with Prime Minister Modi today? That would be Elon Musk. Trump said, quote, I assume, sorry, guys, I'm fighting a cold. I assume Musk wants to do business there. So his special government employee status appears to be giving him some great access.
It certainly does. And of course, that special government employee status also means, as you know, Elizabeth, that he doesn't have to give the kind of financial disclosures that would be common for example, secretaries of departments and so forth. So it is bizarre looking at these images. I mean, it's like Elon Musk is almost a quasi head of state, or someone who is at that level where he is meeting the Prime Minister of India, obviously a huge country, a huge potential market for Elon Musk. And it gets to, I think, the most serious question about Mr. Musk's influence, which is this point of conflict of interest. You have a man who has billions of dollars at stake in contracts with the US federal government, playing a central role in reforming that government, and you have the access to meet, as you see there on your screen, the Prime Minister of India, and having a quite jocular, smiley meeting by all accounts.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Go
to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.